Hello, people of the internet. Cosmic Adults here. I'm Ian Altsor, the Freedom Astrologer, 50% of the Cosmic Adults. And we're going to do another episode of Cosmic Goodness. And here is my co-host, my partner in crime, Mercedes Han, the other 50% of the Cosmic Adults.
What's up, cosmic people? How are you? Hope you're doing good. And listening to our podcast has helped you in your life. We really have. I hope that. What? Why are you laughing?
Because it's so funny. I don't know.
Because you're hysterical?
I think it's just the fact that we're doing this, for me, in general, is funny. That I think it's a lot to do if we're going to go now in a tangent, okay? I think it's a lot about, the energy exchange between us and the way we say things and we word things. And I think that's why I'm laughing a lot during the recording.
It's not because I'm just funny.
Obviously you're funny, but it's I think there's a deeper thing there as well.
Yeah, I think so.
And I wanted to share that too.
I like it when you share things. You don't often really share too much. I mean, you do, but yeah.
I think I shared too much.
What?
Okay.
Well, we're both. Yeah, we try to keep it even, folks. We try.
God. Fuck. Okay. Do you think it's a good segue into?
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna have to retire that word. At some point, it will happen.
What is this? You're the native speaker. What is the synonym of segue? Is there one even?
Well, because it's like a
route.
Segue is like a transition
Pathway
from one thing to another. Transition.
Transition.
No, there's not really that many. There's not a good synonym other than segue. Segue is it.
Guys, you're going to just, have to deal with this freaking
the
word.
Segue. At least it's not a really triggering word.
Yeah.
Because there are really and everyone knows the word. You know the word I'm thinking of, but I won't say.
God, please say. I'm confused.
No. I'll tell you later.
Otherwise, we'll probably use it a bunch.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll just be really it'll be really nauseous. It'll be nauseating.
Oh, yeah, guys. Good start, I think. Good start.
Coming in hot. Didn't waste any time here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what? Mm-hmm.
Do you want to start this time?
Yeah,
or...
I think yeah, so we're heading into April. We're in April solidly now. Last time was just a little tiny bit. My cat is crying right now. Why are you crying? Stop crying. It's okay. He's behind the door. Very weird cat behavior. Okay, so we're heading into April. We are solidly in April 3rd to the 9th. The 3rd for us in Canada is Sunday. So you're going to have to do the math everywhere else. Really interesting day I was feeling. I was feeling a lot of fractal kind of stuff. And the word that was really coming to me was gem. Gem. And it was you're a gem. As a person, a gem of a human. And not only that, gemstones, crystals, all these things feels like a very earthy, gemmy kind of day. And then it also makes me think about Gemma from Sons of Anarchy. Not sure why, but it's in there.
Or Spice Girls? Gemma? No, it's Emma. Okay, sorry. Oh God!
I don't even have to say anything. I just let you. fall
Do
on
you
your.
know Spice Girls? Spice Girls, you do know.
Of course,
Okay,
yeah.
I have to ask now every time.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we like did dance routines as
Oh, nice.
kids. Yeah, like very much so.
I'm curious if you're out there, the audience, and if you're younger, let's say like, I don't know, like 20 something, like 20, beginning of 20s,
Born in
um,
the 2000s.
born in the 2000s. Yes, good. God, born. If you're born in 2000, God, I can't.
Are you
Can't
okay?
even. I can't even do it seriously. I'm just like
Yeah,
so
just
playful right now.
that's good.
Guys, if you're born in the 2000s, please let us know in the comments. Do you know the Spice Girls? Because really I have a, you know, tendency to believe you don't know anything about the Spice Girls, which is fine. I'm just curious if you know. Okay, and gem was the word, and gem, I think here, and you wanted
The word
you
for the
wanna
third. The word for
the
the
word,
third.
the word. You said an interesting word actually. You said earthy, which is very much what is happening astrologically. Let's put it that way, because you know we have the moon in Taurus during these days. After the new moon, we've been coming from the new moon,
I
and now we have the moon in Taurus. Yeah, go ahead.
I have to interrupt because I feel like I have to say that everyone who's listening to this should really pull up a chair. You should sit back, relax, do something chill right now. Play this in the background, do something, do something very, very chill right now and just ease into this. Okay, go. Moon and Taurus.
Moon in Taurus. Now, guys, there are other things obviously happening which makes the day not so earthy. It's my son, actually, this time, not the cat, I think. What makes it a little bit more earthier here is the moon in Taurus. And the moon, remember, guys, is a lot about emotions. And where the attention of our emotions is, we're going to a lot about, we're going to feel that. And it's a grounded thing here a little bit, but the moon is conjunct Uranus. So there's let's say, a tendency or an opportunity to emotionally feel like a gem, I would say, and to discover some emotional freedom from internally, from your insides, that literally, can help you see the gem inside of you.
Have you ever watched people like mining for gems and stuff and like rock hounds and stuff?
You mean literally or
Yeah,
figuratively?
well, because I mean, I'm on TikTok. I'm a 1900s person born. I'm born in the 1900s, and I'm on TikTok, and I got onto Rockhound TikTok somehow, and basically they are pulling crystals and like these beautiful gemstones out of like literal mud and
Whoa.
soft dirt. Yeah, and I didn't know that that's how a lot of the like there was this gigantic carnelian that this one person found, and it was just they just had to grab a shovel. It was like sandy sort of stuff around it. It wasn't like they have to chip away at rock, like it's easily accessible. I'm like, it's really cool.
I haven't seen. I'm older a little bit. I'm 80s, so I'm ancient, considering everybody else. But I am on TikTok as well. But I haven't seen this, and this sounds very interesting actually.
Yeah.
I wonder what was the thing you said? Groundhog? No.
Oh, rock hounds.
Gray rock hounds. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, let's go
It's a thing.
and research rock hounds.
To all you rock hounds out there, thank you for bringing that content on TikTok.
I want to see that.
We want it. We're here for it. So yeah, so basically finding a gem is essentially digging it out, which is what I've learned from TikTok. Thank you, TikTok.
And if you're older, go on TikTok.
You should just go on there. There's all kinds of cool
Uh,
stuff.
there's also, yeah, people are there. Third, don't, don't know if there's so much astrologically, let's say more there. We're coming in from the Kazemi as well. We're kind of, the ideas are still coming in, guys, I would say. You're still getting those flashes of, let's say, ideas and thoughts. So bring
Inspiration.
those
We like that.
inspirations. Write those down. You can now, then, we're after the new moon, so you can start taking actually action with it as well. The energy is there.
If you're concerned about that.
If you were
If you were
concerned about energy,
about taking action and
yes.
wondering about when you're supposed to, be not afraid.
This
It's
is
time.
actually a really good time to not be afraid because it's Aries season. Aries gives us courage, guys. If there's something you've been, let's say, putting off that requires courage and a little bit of that fiery side of yourself, use this.
Have you ever
Use
prayed
this
for
season.
courage before? Like, have you ever just been like, I need courage?
I think so.
Please help me with courage. Yeah.
I think it's been
Freaking-
more along the lines of I need to do this. Please help me do this. Not the
okay.
exact word courage.
So 1 year, I actually like really prayed for courage, and it was probably the hardest year of my life. So keep in mind that like if you're asking for something and like being courageous and stuff, there are going to be scenarios where you are going to require courage in order to build that within yourself. It's not just like magically buy it from Amazon and it comes in on a truck. Nope.
And if you're using Prime, comes quicker. Nope, doesn't work like that. It needs to be like, like said, like even mind. In a way, mind, like Mercedes said at the beginning, throughout life and throughout experiences of actually using courage. That's how we build courage.
Exactly. Isn't that a Saturn thing, kind of? Like experience,
It's a more
life experience, learning through
life experience is definitely Saturn. Courage, Mars.
Oh, and Aries, Mars, connected.
Aries, Mars, connected, definitely.
Okay. Okay. And okay, so we're talking about courage, and I feel very timid. So I feel like I have a little bit of work here to do. I feel like, ooh, because Aries is sort of a toughy. I mean, for me personally, to dive into the Aries stuff.
I think we need to mention one other thing that's happening this week. It's a little bit of a heavier thing, a tougher thing.
Okay, this is on the 4th. Okay.
This is on the 4th.
Intuitive, cosmic freaking word. Stiff. It's stiff on the 4th. Stiff.
Yeah, very good word. I would say this is exactly what this
and it
means.
feels like pokey, like porcupines, getting stabbed with porcupines. Okay, honestly, I have to just stop here because there's tons of like blue energy around you, and it's really freaking cool. Yep, that's cool. Okay, carry on. We're carrying on.
Like, guys, I wish I could say this week is like there are two major things happening, and one of the major things we're going to be covering more in depth in later episode, the Jupiter Neptune conjunction, which is more of the, let's say, positive, more of the can be thought of, more of the bringer of easier energies. Mostly there are dangers there as well, but there's a weird one here we have, and this is Mars and Saturn conjunction, and it's in the term of Mars. And to even add to it a little bit, what makes it harder, heavier, more difficult, there is let's say it forms a T-square with the nodes and the moon itself as well. The moon luckily moves away quickly, but the conjunction itself will be with the nodes and the T-square. There's an intense energy here. And even Mars and Saturn alone, conjunct together in a house, is quite heavy. Like Mercedes said, stiff even, I would say. Because I wanted to bring in a personal story. This is not to scare you. Unfortunately, it isn't a super optimistic story, but it's a manifestation and let's say a precautionary tale to be a little more careful during this week. And it depends a little bit on the house in your personal natal chart. It's happening in Aquarius, so if you know it's happening in that house, so be careful in those areas of the house. Go ahead. What did you want to say?
I am wondering if this is like a fairy tale, like the like the Grimm's tales, where it's like you tell the little kids the story so they don't be bad.
A little bit.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Because the last time these two were conjunct, it was, I hope I'm putting it together now historically. It was happening in Capricorn, and I actually unluckily broke my foot during this conjunction. And I
How
was
did
literally
you break your foot?
Playing basketball.
Oh my gosh.
So
you were doing something fun and you broke your foot?
Yeah. And because Saturn is bones. Remember, guys, Saturn is bones. And Mars is, accidents. So, it can be
it
can be that literal.
And it's in a T-square with the nodes, so I'm not gonna put any stuff into that, but just hey, pay freaking attention.
Pay freaking attention, guys, because the nodes are, where the north node is where our attention goes. And the south node is a little bit where the attention is a little bit less, but the axis of these is, the main focus is still with the nodes, in my mind, is to balance these nodes. Always. It's always the balancing of the nodes, the balancing act. And now we have an agitating also influence of Saturn and Mars there. So what feels like to me that the balance will be triggered. I unfortunately do see some sort of accidents possible there.
Who would be more prone to accidents, just so that they can know if they know how to look up their chart?
Saturnian people ruled by Saturn, so this means Capricorn and Aquarius people are definitely prone to more accidents because Saturn rules you. Let's say, if you want to look at the positive side, Mars can, move you into action. But this is the little bit of a whammy here, or like the contradictory part. Mars forces you into action, but now if you take too much of that Martian ambitious action, it's a little bit of a, take it slowly if possible, because otherwise it's there. Even it doesn't have to be breaking a foot. I mean,
yeah.
I came in pretty strong. It can be a cut. It can be a cut.
Maybe we don't have to follow every Mars impulse we have.
Exactly. And this is literally because Mars is very much an impulsive planet. And you need to dial it down a little bit. And it's happening in a term of Mars as well, so that adds to it.
Okay. Can you maybe go into a little explanation about the nodes? The North Node, South Node?
Yeah. So how this practically manifests a lot, guys, in our practical material realities. The North Node is where the society's attention is really going into. So right now we're transiting North Node. Or we can, sometimes it's mentioned as Rahu in Vedic astrology. If you hear that as well, it applies. And almost like every ounce of our attention goes towards those areas where the North Node is. So, which is Taurus right now, which is very practical, material things. You can say that even there's a, crisis of commodities like wheat because of the situation in Russia and Ukraine, or Ukraine more likely. And
hopefully by the
there's
time we're done, this hopefully by this
hopefully
is coming out, that's all over. We're recording this at the time of stuff going on in there in that
in there,
place.
but it's yeah, but anyway, you can see people's attention goes towards those places. So even let's bring another example: electricity prices. That will most likely happen for a long time. But now, long time. What I mean by this is approximately until end of year, definitely, and a little bit further until March of 2023 as well. And the problem here, guys, is the attention goes there, so our attention goes there, so it can manifest literally in a place where we want to go towards more of nature, Taurus, nature. So what it means is like renewable energies, for example, solar
for
power.
this specific
For this specific
time
example.
when the North Node is in Taurus, for example.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's, the attention goes towards more nature, material, practical foundations in life, because that's also Taurus, material foundations. So people are in those spaces of, I'm worried about, material things, finances. I need to create, I need to put more effort into that, and grounded, earthy things. And the other side of that is the South Node, where the tension, again, guys, remember please this. I'm doing a very, very short review of the nodes. The deeper underlying, there's so much to be said, but I'm doing my best in a short time. And the other side is the South Node, or also Ketu, which I've observed, and a lot of people also have observed, that the attention from those areas gets taken away in our society, and this emotionally in our personal natal charts as well. And when it's in Scorpio right now, when we're talking about Scorpio is a lot about emotional wounds and psychological wounds. When you're dealing with so many material and practical things, it's even hard to find the time to go within and deal with those deeper issues at times. Yes, it can reveal things. South Node actually brings them out as well, observed, but it's still the attention because remember, guys, most people on this planet Earth are very much going with their subconscious impulses, and these planets and these influences are what are saying to us or showing us the underlying subconscious impulses. If you're already there in a place of like, I know, I can observe, I can take away myself from those impulses, like Mercedes says about the Mars, you can take yourself away and put your attention in different spaces as well. But if you think about everybody else, or a lot of people, the vast majority is still in that space. So this is why the attention gets almost like removed or emptied from that space.
I think that's so interesting, because that's like, I think that's the kindest way that anybody has ever said most people are like sheep.
I mean, that's pretty harsh.
I don't mean to be rude, but a lot of people are like,
oh,
people are, it kind of bugs me when people are like, oh, sheeple, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, what we're really saying is the people who are living by the subconscious impulses. That's so key. And that's what moves the energy. That's why, oh man, I feel like I'm just having like a total, what was it called? A brain blast. Like Jimmy Neutron brain blast right now. Do you know Jimmy Neutron?
It's like a cartoon, Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
Nice. Again. Yeah. Nailed it.
I thought I had you bested.
Nope.
Damn it.
No.
It's okay. I will. Okay, so that's freaking mind. My mind is blown right now. What do I do?
The nodes are super important. Freaking
okay, and it's 18 months that it takes for them to move through. Yeah. So right now, North Node Taurus, South Node Scorpio. 18 months until North Node's going to be going where?
We're going to go into Aries and Libra.
Because they
So
also go
North in Aries.
opposite, right? Of everything else.
Always
Okay, so
opposite.
they move opposite.
They're
Okay,
points.
key
They're actual
and
points.
that's what I'm there. So what exactly like are they? They're nodes of the moon? Is that
Yeah, they're mathematical points. We can say that.
okay?
So it's we can do a separate episode on that, to go really deep into the nodes, but they're not, there's nothing, there, you know, basically they're points. So guys, if you think about Saturn is there,
Yeah.
it's in our solar system. We know there's gas, there's mass, I don't know how much mass there is, but anyway, there's a big thing in our solar system. But with the
Called
nodes,
Saturn.
Saturn. With the nodes, there isn't. These are points, mathematical points like the vertex or part of fortune. These are calculated points in astrology that we use to also, get indications of where our attention goes.
Freaking
Make
cool.
sense?
Freaking cool. And this it is the impulse of the masses.
Yeah, exactly. And remember, like Mercedes says, they are nodes of the moon, so they're kind of like points of the moon. And remember what the moon is. That this is, I think we discussed this every episode. It's our emotions
Oh,
and feelings, and this is an emotional reality. And this is one of the reasons we are so freaking affected by the nodes. It's super important.
there you have it. Can you drop the mic, please? There you go.
There it is.
Okay, so okay, so that I forget where we were even before we started talking about the nodes.
Where were
But
Saturn,
we're on
Mars?
April. We're talking April 4th, and it's stiff, and we're talking about the Mars and the impulses and the warning of be aware.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty difficult conjunction. I mean, let's say one astrologer, I wanted to mention this, I wanted to bring this, one astrologer that I would say admire. They do a lot of good work. They are, predict a lot of this, let's say, mundane astrology events. They have these dates 4th and 5th, I think, depending on where you are. They had these dates as really like be cautious here, and some of the situations in the world can escalate depending on where we are in the cycle, let's say. So let's be really careful around these days in our personal lives as well, and take it a little bit
Well,
slowly, more
yeah,
slowly.
and what's freaking interesting is that for the 5th, when I was tuning in on the day, the 5th, what's coming to me is extra spicy. Those were literally the words. At first it was like extra, and then it was like spicy. It's like, whew, really? And it kind of reminds me of so my sister, hi Michaela, if you're listening. Um, we have this game. So one time when we were younger, we went through the McDonald's drive-through, and this guy, he's like, "Do you want to try the salsa? Do you want to try McDonald's salsa?" And we were like, "No." And he's like, "Seriously, you gotta try it." And we're like, "No, we're good." And he's like, "I'm gonna put some in the bag for you because you gotta try it." And we're just like, "What the hell?" So we're like, "Okay, thanks, guy." And so then we started this game where we would hide the salsa packet in each other's stuff. So like if I had the salsa packet, it would be like I would find it in my purse or something, and I'd be like, "Fuck, no! Now I got the salsa packet." So then I had to like find a sneaky way to hide it with her, like in the pillowcase or something. So then when she goes and has a nice restful sleep, it's like, "Oh fuck, I got the salsa packet." It's just a fun sibling thing.
That's a really fun game, I have to say.
Highly recommend that. Yeah, highly recommend it. So what's
Okay.
extra spicy about this day?
I'm
About the 5th?
because the fourth and fifth, this is where the conjunction becomes exact. So we're still under the influence of Saturn and Mars. Like, it can get extra spicy there. There's no, yes, the Saturn dials the spiciness down of Mars, but it's freaking the nodes and everything there. So
Yeah,
I mean, it
that's
can
so
get
wrong.
extra spicy there.
So the
Because
fourth and fifth, we're just gonna put like a really nice, lovely bubble around everyone for the fourth and fifth, so that you are really have the extra ability to be extra aware and even potentially enjoy these days.
I mean, you can try. You can do your best.
Well, we
I
really
think
hope
it will
something
be a
good
little bit
happens for you.
harder. Yeah.
What are you
Anyways,
saying? Yeah, okay.
I mean, I think what I want to be with Mercedes and say that we can potentially enjoy this because Venus is moving into Pisces. And Pisces most likely will be able to enjoy themselves a little bit more. A little bit more.
Shout out to my fellow fish.
But it's let's pull this Venus in Pisces up so it's a little bit more optimistic or positive, so it doesn't get super heavy. Although maybe I need to say one thing because God, I think I need to say this because it's the South and the North node and the T square, like the epicenter of the nodes is, let's say the epicenter of the T square, guys, here is literally Mars and Saturn in Aquarius. So what I do see happening here, usually that's the release. So the tensions, so this is, I think, now the information is coming from me. The tensions from the material side and the emotional side, these are bubbling, and the release, unfortunately, might not be the easiest of releases, will be Saturn and Mars in Aquarius. So that means, I don't know, social unrest, unfortunately, some protest might be possible. People just being mean online.
Oh,
that stuff
no.
as well.
That's okay.
I would say
That's
as well.
There. The visual that I'm getting about it is like a guitar string, like pulled really tightly, and then you, and it's music.
Which is a really good segue into Venus in Pisces. Because
Okay. Yes. Okay. I just got excited about the segue. The use of segue it caught me off guard, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, I think this is our game now. Like we need to start putting it
instead of a McDonald's salsa packet, it's surprise segues.
God, so good. So basically, Venus in Pisces is a very, very good position for, like we said, music. Did you say music or notes or something?
Yeah. Well, would you perhaps say whimsical?
Definitely, it can be whimsical.
Because that's what I was feeling about the day, just like whimsical. Like we're talking like Whoville.
Let's I'll start with the negative ones first, and then we'll move into the positive side. Maybe it's a better one.
And then we can start with the negative and then segue to the positive.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so Venus in Pisces. Venus is exalted. It's considered exalted in Pisces in, let's say, modern Western astrology, which basically means it's strong and it's good. But let's say the negative side of Venus in Pisces is whimsical. When we're talking about Venus, we're talking about money and relationship mostly. These are the main topics. Of course, diplomacy and stuff like that. But people just care about the money and the relationships. And God, I can't believe I just said that. But I think it's.
Tell us how you really feel.
But I think it's true. You know, people care about that
Yeah,
a
it's like,
lot.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah. Just
relationships
tell
and
me when
money.
I'm gonna find my
Right.
soulmate.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
well,
Diplomacy,
whenever.
blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Peace on earth, whatever. But when am I gonna find the right person?
When am I going to get something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um. So the negative side can be, you know, when you have Venus in Pisces, or when there's a Venus in Pisces in general, overall, like the tendency to go towards these secret relationships can be there, like behind the scenes relationships. So if you feel pulled towards, or even like dreaming about relationships that are maybe not like making relationships and financial materials and areas better than they are, you're like, just like, oh my god, this person is so amazing, and blah blah blah, and I'm going to make it da 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 da. You know, that can happen. And guys, it's good to visualize. Yes, it's good to visualize, you know, money coming in, and visualize the perfect partner for yourself, which is the higher side of Pisces. But if you're, let's say, if you're there and, you know, dating somebody, for example, or building a business, only that side most likely won't work. You're going to need some practical efforts put in. That's all I'm saying. Not hating on visualizations. I do it myself
Right.
as well. It's good.
But
You know,
visualize, but also like, if you need to book clients or something, just need to do it on that day. Like yeah,
basically.
I get what you're
But
saying.
let's say Venus is going to be in Pisces for almost a month, so you know it's
Ooh,
going to
is this
influence the
good? Is
entire
this
month.
good for Pisces folk?
Yeah.
Because all I care about is myself.
Yes, that's exactly. That's what I wanted to segue into.
Oh my god. No.
Boom! I did it.
Oh
I
my
did it.
god. Yeah, that was. Okay. Okay. I've recovered.
But
Jesus, I'm just kidding.
you're getting hammered.
I'm getting freaking hammered, yeah.
So I would say, you know, if you start, you know, to fantasize too much about these potential partners and stuff like that, you know, bring yourself a little back into the thing. But let's go into the maybe a little bit positive side as well. It is,
We'll
you
go
know,
into
let's say,
it. We
for
won't
example,
segue into it.
I specifically didn't want to say anything. It would be too
Right.
much. But let's say, for example, let's say for you, Mercedes, you have a lot of stuff happening there in Pisces. For you, the Venus is going to touch you specifically. So yes, your creative things will be, you know, let's say, heightened, but also like the general feeling, even when it's from the sun, you know, it still gives that a little bit of more pleasure, you know, easier to feel
Like
a little bit more
enjoyable,
pleasure,
kind of.
enjoyable thing. But when we're talking about the sun, it's a little bit also like, because the sun can burn Venus a little bit, so a little bit here and there, let's say it like that. But you know, money
Right.
definitely can come in
Well, that's
as
a good
well.
thing. That's a good
That's
thing.
always a good thing. So don't, guys, go into secret relationships. If you start cheating, you know, come
That's
back.
on you.
Oh, that's on you.
That's on you.
And
You should let the person who's really. You should. Never mind. I have
don't
my
do it.
own things about that.
Tell me, please share.
Well, I feel like cheating on someone is really lame. Like, it's a lame thing to do. Just let that person
I
go.
agree.
Obviously, you can't support them and be there for them, and it's not the right thing. Like, freaking grow up a little bit and let that person go. It's not right. It's mean.
Exactly. And guys, I think this opens up a segue into my teaching about this as well. So I'll give you a teaching about this, what I have.
Please.
Because
Listen up.
listen up,
Class.
guys, especially during this season of Venus in Pisces. If you are literally pulled towards cheating and those sensations and feelings, like, yeah, awesome. But the other side of that coin is another person as well. And you if you made commitments to that other person, it's it's a time to honor those commitments as well. And the way to actually honor those commitments to that other person is like, I feel pulled towards, let's say you feel a pull towards cheating or doing something behind their back, or you want excitement, or you want something new in your relationship. So before you go do that behind somebody's back, go and talk to them about it. Like literally say, I have these urges and I can't handle this fucking shit. And, let's see where that takes you, basically, is what I'm saying. Be honest, be truthful. And, usually these urges are that you're missing out on something. There's an emotional need, a physical need, some sort of need that is not met. And this is one of the reasons why I even pulled towards these situations. And you can obviously, before you even go talk to them about it, you can understand this and then say like, hey, I'm missing out on this. I would like to do this with you. You're my partner. Can we figure freaking something out so I don't have to go there and do that? Or if literally you take that even further, like, okay, I can't get this from you now, is still an open communication, open understanding between the two of you. I can't do this, you want this, should we, go our separate ways and do these things on our own?
Yeah, well, because I think that that's way better than, potentially betraying someone. Because it's like, when I feel like when people cheat, it's not that they don't care about the person that they're with. But at the end of the day, you are betraying them. So, if you really, I think what you said there was really, really valuable. And I've not heard someone say that before.
Listen, guys, I've had, Mercedes said that I don't share enough. I can share now intimately about my life. I've had many, many hard lessons. And luckily for me, I had those lessons when I was younger. I was in my 20s, and it still makes me sad when I start talking about this. And I made those mistakes towards somebody I really cared about at that time, unfortunately, and immediately got that done to me, which really, really sucked. And those real life experiences led me to the place of really, going deep within myself about those matters. Like, why did I do those? Why did it got done to me? How can I do it better? What it means? What are the sensations? What are the feelings? What are the impulses actually there? This is one of the reasons I can actually speak to it so freaking intimately, because I know the pain. I know the pain that it causes somebody else. I know the pain that it causes you, and it's that situation and the matter can be solved in a much better way. That's it.
Yeah, it can be mitigated. Hopefully.
Hopefully, guys.
Wow. I'm feeling things. I think. Surprise, surprise.
Which is good.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know. I think what you said sort of to my situation that happened like a long time ago, I feel like it brought a lot of compassion in for me just then, of like, you know what, you're right. Like, people aren't cheating. They're not having secret relationships or fantasies or whatever because they're like pumped or they're extremely happy. It's like they're doing it because of some unmet needs, some pain, any freaking a whole host of things. Yeah.
There even, guys, I'm going to do a little bit of a shameless plug for myself here. It's a little bit of a, because I see people and consult them with these issues as well.
Do you mean?
And I see a lot of people. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you mean with like your astrology readings and stuff?
Yes, astrology, okay. Spiritual therapist is what I'm. Astrology and spiritual therapy is what I'm calling.
I like it.
Freedom astrology. Is I see a lot of people, and a lot of the times it's an issue also starting from childhood as well. So what happens is the parent, one of the male role figures, it can be the father, it can be the mother, cheats on the other parent, and that is taken over by the child, and they see it, and they see it happening, and you feel it happening, and then later on in adult life you don't even know why you're doing it, and it's because you saw that and you witnessed that and you thought that was normal, and you start doing it as well. And some of these wounds need to be healed, and you need to give yourself attention and release judgment towards the parent who cheated, and then the desire, the need starts to evaporate little by little there. So it's very multi-layered, and like Mercedes said as well, needs. This is also a very important part of that. Cab?
I'm just deep inside right now. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Wow. Whew. Who would have thought we would go there today? I was not expecting that, but I think that's incredibly valuable info for a lot of people out there. Would you say, do you think that you get a lot of because here, there's a lot of women that are spiritual and getting into spirituality and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you find you get a lot of young men, someone who would really benefit from hearing about this?
Yes, definitely would benefit, but the problem is that they're not open to it. That's the problem.
Because they're deep in those wounds.
I think they believe dealing with their emotions is not manly, and understanding themselves deeply is not manly, because that's more associated, feelings and emotion, it's a nurturing feminine energy more, so. But I think men these days, or some men, or a lot of men, maybe it's still the more bigger stigma is there, that me being connected to my emotions and feelings is girly or too feminine, which is actually the opposite case. But I think that's one of the reasons why people or men judge that still.
Gotta break through that. Gotta break through that ceiling. So, ladies out there that are listening to this, send this episode to your male friends that could really use this info. Target them. Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't. Be really nice to them.
Yeah, see if you can find an opening. If there's an opening there, if they're already asking questions themselves, I think then it's possible. If they're not asking questions yet, I think it's harder.
Yeah. Okay. So let's segue.
But you can. Nice, you got it.
Did I do it?
Point to you.
Win.
You can always give it a shot, guys. Ladies, if you're listening and you think somebody would benefit, you can always give it a shot. And if they reject it, be okay with them rejecting it. That's what I wanted to say as well.
Yeah. Okay. If they're deep in it, they're deep in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't rescue anyone. You can't save anyone. You can only do that for yourself. Which I think we've been talking about that quite a bit on here anyway, so. Woo! Okay, and we're lifting, and we're lifting, and so the 7th of April, do we still have points about the 6th?
I think 7th is good.
That was the Pisces Venus situation that's going on for a month.
The positive side of Venus in Pisces is art and music, and creating fantastic pieces of creative projects is just amazing thing to do during this. So do that.
An artist or musician or anything, this is your time.
Designers, very good.
I like it. Okay, cool. 7th of April, Sage, which is cool because I feel like around this time is when I'm going to start thinking about going out and actually picking sage, which is interesting, which is something that I love to do. And yeah.
I would tie it to this Mercury and Saturn sextile actually, which is a more positive aspect. It's a short one, guys, but you will feel it for a day or two. And Saturn,
Mercury moves faster, right?
Mercury moves very fast.
Okay, so Mercury
Usually.
and Saturn. Okay.
When Mercury is sextile Saturn, it's literally the wise sage, because Saturn is the
Cool. Sorry. Whoop! That was an outburst. Okay.
nice. Outbursts are, guys, if you're listening to this, outbursts are allowed here on Cosmic Adults.
Oh, so I will never again apologize for that, ever.
Yes, exactly.
Pretty Canadian, eh?
That. This is what is Canadian. This is the most Canadian thing ever.
Do you think that I dropped that in there by accident?
Okay. Oh, so it's a thing. Okay.
Yeah, sure is, eh?
So it's the white. So it's
the wise sage.
The wise sage. The Saturn is the very experienced, mature teacher and the guru who has the knowledge and wisdom, and Mercury brings the information. So it's a good
time to get some sage advice.
To trying to get a solid critical advice, even do some practical research into matters and things. It's a good matter. And the little bit of that heavier energy starts to lift, so the ground, Mercury in Aries maybe is not so grounded, but maybe hopefully Saturn will help it to ground a little bit, and that communication is more solid. It's a little bit slower than usual with Mercury and Aries. That excited.
I get it. Friday the 8th. Spaceship. Now this makes me think about Uranus. Is anything crazy going on with Uranus with spaceship? I don't know. There's like lots of people who are like pretty intense about spaceships. Maybe we're gonna like see aliens or something on this day. I'm not making a prediction here. No way, but
spaceship. I mean,
Dr. Evil.
There is a Mercury-Mars sextile coming in as well, and Mars is big machines or machinery, and Mercury. It's very hard.
Maybe we are gonna see aliens on this day. Wouldn't that be wild?
I would need more. I would need a little bit more, I guess. But I mean,
have you ever seen a UFO before? You don't have to answer.
Not personally. Not in real life.
Okay, well, I know there are people out there who have seen them. So watch the sky on the 8th. You never know.
A moon is in Cancer. Moon starts to go in Cancer.
Oh.
Maybe we should need to say that for some reason.
Moon's in Cancer.
I mean, it is.
Get ready, y'all. It's like, and it's not a new moon, is it? No. We're way past that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just regular doing its thing.
It should
but
be
it's in Cancer.
Coming to first quarter moon.
That's our emotions and stuff. Yeah.
That's our feelings and guys, I want to say a couple of words about maybe Moon and Cancer before we segue into something else.
Fuck.
But
Point.
but Moon in Cancer is a lot about it sometimes can be a little bit so emotional and so much into feeling life and in desire to be in the home life. It can be almost in a place of I can't deal with these earthly practical matters. I want to kind of like crawl into my emotional space and that can, sometimes you need to be aware of when you, let's say, maybe you have something really to do in the earthly practical realm. So moon in Cancer, you can do it, but the emotional side, the internal side is still like, it's almost like pulling you towards like more into feelings and emotions. I want to be in home, in private, in my safe space. So it's a little bit that. So you have to navigate those things if you have something to materially do outside.
I think that's really interesting because it is kind of like tying in again with what you said about the nodes earlier, where it's like when you're really focused on the one thing, the tension is off of the other thing. So it's like you're focusing in on the emotions and it's taking the tension off of the more practical things, but also like you may have to navigate an emotional time during a time when you actually have to do practical things, which can be hard, can be a challenge. I think personally with the natal moon in Cancer, I like it when the moon's in Cancer. I feel like
Totally.
I feel like I'm flowing and shit's good and everybody else is losing it and crying and all this stuff and I'm like, okay. Enjoy.
It can get emotional, definitely. Because is it still in? Because right now we're recording this. I think
Is
or
it?
almost moving out. Yeah, it's still in Cancer.
Oh, jackpot.
Because I was feeling so emotional in these past few days. I knew when it was in Cancer, and I took some time, to spend time with family.
Good.
Really good.
I'm glad you
Moon
did
with
that.
Cancer.
9th.
Boom. 9th.
Boom. Indigo. This made me feel very excited because this makes me feel like third eye. And I really like how, I mean, if you're just listening to this and not watching on YouTube, you can't see what the chart actually looks like. But with the software Ian has, it like goes through all the rainbow colors. And indigo is like one of those higher out colors. And I really feel like there's going to be some kind of really cool thing in it. Yeah. Okay. Go.
No, if you have more, please say more.
I don't. I just got really excited about the indigo.
Excited.
I was like, indigo, oh my god. Oh my god. Here we go.
Guys, this is, I think, all about this. And we mentioned this for a while now. Jupiter Neptune conjunction in sign of Pisces.
Are we going to talk about it a little? We're going to
I
save
think we should
I think
talk
we should
about-
we're going to we should talk a little, but I think we should save most of it for next episode.
Yeah. Let's do that, because this Jupiter Neptune conjunction, this humanitarian big conjunction that is happening now again in the sign of Pisces. Last time it happened in the sign of Pisces was like 1856 or something. And maybe we'll bring it, the 1856, into this in the next episode. But let's talk about a little bit about the general, because the general feelings and sensations you can already feel. And like Mercedes says, indigo. And this is very much the indigo children, the very in tune children, the very intuitive feeling, connected to other realms of existence and talking to spirit guides. And these types of energies are going to be really, really strongly felt entire April anyway.
Yeah.
And even longer this year, because Jupiter will come back again. But these feelings that we're going to experience are very much of oneness, of wholeness. We start to see everything more as one, and more humanity is more as one, and that type of energy starts really coming in, and also that spiritual energy of seeing things and seeing light and seeing energy and getting intuitive messages and feeling connected to other realms and pulling knowledge, and not pulling, I would say even
receiving,
because it's more receiving and coming in more easily, because these are energies are
I feel like the third eye is a lot about just it, not even necessarily like having like, let's say, spiritual sight, how like people can see auras, people can see orbs, like whatever. It's just about seeing beyond. It's not about being this master guru having a open third eye. It's about seeing beyond what's right in front of you. What is beyond right in front of you? this makes me feel excited. And if you've ever like read anything about colors or anything like that, if you would like to know something about colors, it's cool to choose a color and just stare at it and just see what you see beyond what you see. It's not just a color. Freaking the world is so cool, dude. Like our senses, because the way that we see colors is that that object absorbs all other colors and it reflects the color that it is. Uh-huh. Yeah. So, you look at a color and you contemplate all that kind of stuff, you can go pretty deep.
You can. Definitely can.
So, did you have anything else to add about that, or do you feel like...
I mean, there's so much to say about this, but I think maybe...
I think we gotta save it. Sorry, but gotta keep everybody on their toes.
Keep you on their toes, guys. I want to say one thing, and then let's leave it.
I knew there was one thing. I could see it in your brain.
This is because, guys, this is happening in Mars terms. And Neptune.
What does that mean? Can you explain that
because
just a smidge? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
The terms give the aspect an extra layer of meaning. And let's say we're talking about Neptune and Neptune and Jupiter. But it's happening in the Mars term. So there's a energy of Mars there as well. So what do I see about this is almost like fighting for some sort of justice, some sort of, a more unified world here as well. This is one of the biggest things I do see happening for us in a long term, because this is, guys, a long term cycle. And
right, the last time was in the 1800s.
But yeah, it's the last time it happened in the sign of Pisces, it was the 1800s. It happens approximately every 12-ish years around that. So it's still a very, very long-term cycle. Okay. But what I do see here happening is like people getting that desire and their kind of like righteousness to fight for something good. But the problem here I have with this is the negative side. It can, like, the desire to fight for this can be misguided in some way. Now, what I mean by misguided is some bigger energy can come here. Maybe it's from society, maybe it's from the things that are happening kind of right now in our world, and this can distort the actual thing we need to fight for as humans.
Oh, you mean like there might be a red herring, like a little distraction sort of manipulation thing?
I would say so. And like even some weird ideology that can be birthed of this,
dude,
and people get really like excited about it, and I'm like,
so this is actually really coming in important with Indigo, because that's the third eye. This is the seeing beyond. So if there is going to be a distortion, it's just going to serve to open up people's eyes. All three.
Nice.
Did you get hit with that?
Yeah.
Because like good. I've had to like retrain myself to go like, if Ian doesn't say anything right away, it doesn't mean that you said anything bad.
No. I'm processing. I'm literally processing what you said.
Okay. So this I feel is a big, I mean, in my eyes here, it's looking like a big awakening.
I think so too. I think a lot of people will be awakened. Totally. So spiritual awakening.
April 9th.
Although, I need to mention a little bit, guys, this is such a big event. You can feel a little before and after.
Okay, right. Because
Yeah.
this is the thing of the energy builds prior, and
Yep.
so not always. And you know what, actually, and I will say that's definitely true because when the moon is full, it's never the full moon night that I wake up in the middle of the night. It's the night before. Always.
Yeah, it can
I
happen.
wake up and I'm like sitting up in my bed. I'm like, what the hell's going? Look outside. The moon's. I'm like, oh right, that's happening.
Have you ever needed to sleep in a room where there was no curtains and there was the moonlight shining into it? Have you have ever had that experience?
No, I don't think so.
This is a weird one, guys, because
Not
I had that
significantly
experience.
enough. Yeah. Okay.
I had that experience, and I had to do it, I think, 2 nights around. And 2 nights, the moon was shining on me, literally. I couldn't sleep at all. Literally. And the next days, we managed to, I think I even changed rooms, and I slept like a baby. Because the moon, the energy of the moon influences us so much. It brings out the emotions, brings out the feelings, it's the intuition, da da da, so many things. And when it's shining on you, it can literally be intense. Like Mercedes
Wow.
says, you're like there,
You almost got like roasted, but like instead of fire, it was water.
yeah, it was the moon. Crazy.
Because whenever I'm trying to explain astrology to people, I'm like, well, if you don't believe astrology, okay, fine, whatever.
Yep.
I don't think that's even the debate, but the water, you can't deny that the moon affects the tides.
Exactly.
So, and
Fucking exactly.
how much of our cells is water? And not only
A
that,
shit
like
ton.
salt water. Hello, come on. Like get it together, y'all. So that's how I always explain astrology. So I think it's very, very curious that with it shining on you directly, it's
Direct.
almost like, oh yeah, getting roasted, but with water. That's interesting. I wonder if this is like a big thing about just cave, like back in time when people slept outside. Probably they were more used to that and maybe didn't.
Maybe.
You could speculate.
Maybe.
Anyways, I think
The
that's a good final thought.
Ah.
What do you think? Do we get a point if we trick the other person?
Yeah, you
Okay,
do.
sweet.
You get one. Yeah, we're going to the 10th. Mm-hmm.
I
Or is
mean, we
it
could.
10th?
No, we're pretty well
Ninth.
done.
Ninth was the last one.
Ninth,
Yeah, yeah,
ninth
yeah.
is the Saturday. Well, for us
Nice.
here in Canada, and then the 10th will be the Sunday, which
That's good. Good.
you'll have to listen to the next forecast episode.
We'll definitely. This is my indication. Maybe it will shift, but let's maybe start with the Jupiter and Neptune next time,
Okay.
so people are really on their toes and want to know more.
Get
Or
ready.
something like
Hey,
that.
I'm also on my toes because I don't even know. I don't know what you're gonna say. I'm excited personally. The
I'm going to
awakening.
bring in a lot of things, more.
Okay. So it might be a little bit longer episode, so get really situated. Okay. Oh, freaking. So basically, beginning of the week will be a little harder than potentially moving into a little easier into the week, sliding into the weekend. Hopefully, big awakenings, big awareness, big ideas, good things all around. Always is what we're wanting for you, of course, but we're also giving you the tools and the things to kind of navigate these waters. And I think there was that big thing there about the Venus and the fantasy sort of thoughts and that too. So just a reminder on that.
If I'm being really direct about this week, I think something will happen beginning of the week, which will segue us into the. God, I couldn't even say that. it will segue us into that Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, which basically means that event worldwide will be something not so pleasant, and that will almost awaken us into that more humanitarian, more unified, more higher consciousness of Jupiter and Neptune. This is what I see happening. This is what I believe will happen.
Yeah, well, because everyone just really has to remember that everything that's going on in the world right now serves to wake us up more.
Yes.
So every day, invite in your angels, invite in your guides, invite in your spirit freaking gang to work for you and to help you figure out your next move. Always ask. Always. We talked about that before. If you ask a question, that means something's gonna happen. Yes.
Fuck yeah. Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Guys,
you got this.
appreciate you watching, listening.
Yeah. Thanks for being here with us, being a fellow cosmic adult. Because we think of all of you as also cosmic adults. You're our friends, our homies.
Home boys, home slices, home
Dizzles.
dizzles, girls, ladies, dudes.
What was the last one that you said?
Proserpina.
Proserpina. Ay, ay, ay. Anyways, good times. Good times.
Bye, guys.
I don't want to end.
No,
I want to stay here. Yeah, but we gotta have a wonderful week. We hope that we've brought you lots of knowledge and tools and things to help you with it, whatever it is that goes on. Obviously, we don't know yet. We're not there, so yeah.
Thanks, guys. Wishing you a lot of strength and stuff like that as well. And through all the difficulties, we will find the juice, the real juice. Good stuff.
Get it.
Okay. Get it.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.